Okay, I'm on my fourth battery pack now, so let's get it back into beginner mode so you can see a little bit more of that, and then we'll shift back into manual mode again. Here we go. Okay, so right now we are in full beginner mode. And I don't know, I've got about 40-50% throttle on here right now, about 50% throttle. You've got a pretty good turn radius in beginner mode, and the gyro is completely stable. I mean, it's rock solid on the gyro for holding its altitude, and when you center the stick, bringing it back to nice level flight. Look at that. That stick completely off the sticks there. So yeah, in beginner mode, this thing is awesome. It's going to take some practice to get good in manual mode. And I am going to, like I said, I am going to make a modification on the elevator to make it a little bit easier in manual mode, a little less abrupt on the pitch. I think that the ailerons are fine in manual mode, but there's just too much pitch. Okay, so let's bring it back through here again, and we'll hit the trick button, the stunt button, and we'll see what it does as far as a roll. Okay, so I'm gonna hit the button. There we go. And now that is a lot, the gyro is rolling the plane a lot faster than it rolls in manual mode, which is kind of odd. It's almost like in manual mode I'm not quite getting full deflection. Okay, now let's go full throttle. Let's hit the button. Okay, so that is a kind of a lackluster loop, even hitting the stunt button and gyro stabilization. I think it's just a little underpowered. It would make a good trainer Parkjet with the current power system. It'll make a really good beginning Parkjet. I mean, this is extremely stable in beginner mode. No worries whatsoever. In manual mode, it will be a good challenge for someone with a lot of experience, and I don't consider myself an expert RC pilot. I would say I'm intermediate level. And it's kind of challenging for me in full manual mode without making a modification on the elevator. But anyway, let's get it back up here again. Okay, now we're in full manual mode again, as you can tell. Hope I don't lose orientation again. Alright. And it's just really abrupt on the elevator. That's the only problem I have with it in full manual mode. And that's full manual mode. And so because it is really abrupt on the elevator, you have to be careful that you don't stall it out, because there's my alarm. The first time that I put it in manual mode, I stalled it out just because the elevator is so abrupt. So anyway, let's put it back into 6G mode. There's 6G mode. And we'll bring it in for a landing and turn off this infernal alarm. So that's pretty cool. I mean, that thing can land out here in this rough stuff. I mean, for as tiny as it is, that is pretty darn good. So yeah, I'll meet you guys back at the shop and we'll talk about it. And I'll give you my thoughts on this plane, on the first 4 battery packs that I've put through it. And I'm going to go ahead and put some more battery packs through it and do most of the flight in complete manual mode, so you can see some of the capabilities of it in manual mode. And gyro stabilization, it would make a great beginner park jet. But I also want to find out how well of an advanced park jet it would make. So see you back at the shop.
Okay, so that was review part 2. And as you could tell, I was already getting smoother on the controls in manual mode, and only a short portion of that flight was in manual mode. So one thing that I did from the flights that I'm posting now is I just put some of this white vinyl tape on the outer edges, the leading edge of the wing and on the edge of the wing, so that when I get it out there I can better tell the top from the bottom. Because I was out there in the late afternoon, the sun was really low, the sky was completely overcast, and then having a gray colored plane about 150 meters away, I couldn't tell the top from the bottom anymore. And as you saw in the previous maiden flight and then the second flight, I nosed it in because I could not tell the top from the bottom and lost orientation. But also, you know, what I talked about earlier about the stunt button for the roll, if you watch that, I mean, that had a pretty darn good roll rate, you know, when you push the stunt button, but when you have it in manual mode, it's really slow. So I don't understand why the servos were restricted in the roll access in manual mode. I wish it had a faster roll rate in manual mode, but I don't know, I'll have to take a look at it. Maybe there's a way that I can mod that as well. But it is a fun plane to fly, and you'll see in the next video as well, and I believe it's flight number 6, and I think in flight number 5 and flight number 6, I think the vast majority of those flights I was in manual mode. So I got a lot more comfortable on the controls by flight 6. So I think in the next video, I think that's flight 6 that you will see. And then I actually put 8 battery packs through it total for that flight session. So it's a really fun plane, but it's going to take some practice to get used to it in manual mode. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video, the flight demonstration of the stunt button, and you also saw when I pressed the stunt button and tried to do a loop, it kind of went up, and you know, it pushed up, and then the nose just kind of fell over. So I think that confirms what I said in the first couple of flights in the maiden flight, that it seems slightly underpowered. So we'll see if we can do something about that as well. But anyway, thank you for watching. Please give a thumbs up. Stay tuned for the next episode, part 3 in the review of this little tiny park jet, and I will see you in the air.